Could we keep the kids a little quiet? Maybe they can go to the side of the building or something. Yeah. This is His Holiness Srila Swami's. I mean, everything he writes is wonderful. But this is the Vyasa Puja offering he wrote some years ago, and I actually sent it to all my disciples some years ago, and this is what I wrote. Dear devotees, there are certain priceless treasures that I keep close to my heart as I travel and preach around the world. Things that give me great inspiration, like the holy names. The kirtan last night was out of this world. My beloved deities. The children. Instructions of Srila Prabhupada that he gave me at certain times. Special items like a bead from Jiva Goswami's Japamala and a piece of cloth from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But I also carried the following 1994 Vyasa Puja offering of His Holiness Srila Swami everywhere I go. I must have read it hundreds of times and cried 100 times. For me it reveals the essence of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement and the heart of my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. In either case, it's a masterpiece and can be read again and again. So we begin. This is Srila Swami. Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances at your divine lotus feet. All glories to you on this celebration of your appearance day. While planning a composition for your offering, I was also attending to my regular correspondence. One letter stood out amongst the others. I enclose it here, translated into English for your pleasure. Dear Srila Swami, Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. I hope you do not mind my writing to you. I have never written to a spiritual master before. You do not know me. My name is Bhaktivedanta, and I live in Pit, Hungary. I am 14 years old, and I live at home with my mother and older sister. In 1992, I went to the Hare Krishna festival with a friend. I was not interested, but I enjoyed the chanting and the dancing at the end. After it was over, I even bought a book, The Science of Self-Realization. I don't know why. I don't even read. I think it was because of the chanting. I took the book home and cannot remember even what happened to it. But one day my mother found it, and she was very angry at me. She thought I was reading this kind of thing. You see, our family members are very strict Catholics. They thought Krishna consciousness was some kind of cult, some kind of brainwashing. Actually, I wasn't even reading the book. I'd forgotten all about it. Somehow it just appeared. Anyway, my mother was going to throw it away in the garbage. My grandmother, who was 68, was in the kitchen at that time. She lives in the apartment upstairs. She came in and, out of curiosity, took the book. She looked at it and scolded me in a very heavy way. I thought that would be the end of it. I didn't mind so much as I wasn't a lot of Maya at that time. About a week later, I overheard a conversation between my mother and my grandmother. Granny was saying that this was not an ordinary book. She said that what Prabhupada was saying is what Jesus Christ said, and that Krishna is God. I was very surprised. She said that we should listen to what Prabhupada said and chant Hare Krishna because that was the religion for this age. They were talking a lot about how Christianity was no more and no one was following the Bible, but what Prabhupada said in his books was pure and perfect. Maharaj, things really took a turn from there. One day my grandmother visited the Namahata center here and began to chant on beads. She also began to buy Prabhupada's books, one after another. She was spending all her pension on buying what she called the beautiful Holy Bhagavatam. Sometimes she could only afford to eat potatoes, but she kept on buying the books. Devotees even came to her flat and helped her set up an altar. When I went upstairs, they had taken down all the pictures, but there were pictures of Krishna everywhere. Maharaj, that was only really the beginning. One night, Granny had a dream about Prabhupada. Something really happened to her then. I don't know what it was, but she began to get very enthusiastic. Next, she began to get the whole family involved. I mean, not just me and my mother and sister, but her 2 sons, their wives, and 6 children, as well as all her brothers, sisters, and every relative we have, as far back as I can remember. Before, she used to carry a Bible with her and quote Jesus Christ. Now she had a Bhagavad Gita in her hand and quotes the good Lord Prabhupada. She became a veritable transcendental terror. Everyone in the family now has to chant at least 1 round a day. In addition, Granny makes everyone become a vegetarian, including my dog Sikra. And we offer all our food to a picture of Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya. Now I am also getting out of Maya and chanting and reading a little also. Where I go to school, my friends inquire about Krishna because they know I am a devotee. The whole family now goes to the Namahata, all 16 of us. During the Christmas marathon, all of us, all 16, including Granny, tried to distribute Prabhupada's books. Granny would take books with her to the market and sell them to the vendors. Everyone's afraid of her because she's fearless. They all think she's gone crazy, but she doesn't care. Now she is saving to go to Budapest to see the newly installed deities. She has heard that Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda have come to Hungary and are being worshipped there by the devotees. She says she wants to see God just once in this life. At this year's Hare Krishna festival, you were speaking to the guests after having kirtan. You must remember my granny because she came up to you and sat down right beside you and asked you so many questions. At the end, you stood to leave, and she stood up and she kissed your hand. Do you remember? I also wanted to ask a question, but I was shy. Could I please ask you now? I hope you do not mind, Maharaj. I want to know what kind of man Srila Prabhupada was. He must be so dear to Krishna to have spread this message all over the world, even here in Hungary. What are these books that changed my family so much? How is it possible that he can speak so powerfully through them? You must feel very fortunate to be his disciple. How great a man he is. Sometimes when my granny chants in front of a picture of Krishna, she cries. How does Prabhupada do that? I want to cry like that too. Granny dreams often of Prabhupada, and sometimes she talks to his picture. Although it says on the cover of the book that he passed away, but is Prabhupada really dead, or is he still alive? Do you think I can meet him someday? I am sorry that I have gone on so. I would like to be a good devotee one day and help you and Prabhupada spread Krishna consciousness. Could you please answer my questions? Your servant, Bhakti Dora. And Maharaj continues. This is his offering. Srila Prabhupada, what is this brand of mercy that you gave this old lady I barely met, that you never gave to me? She never met you, never saw devotees. She is not even initiated by you. What is this kindness that you bestow upon her that you do not give to me, your fortunate disciple? What am I referring to? It's just this. After having come in contact with you for just a few months, what inspiration did you give this granny in that dream? What did you do to move in her heart that made her change her life in its final days? That made her turn against the current of banality and tradition and strike out alone to change her world? No sympathy, no association, no institutional support. Boldness I do not possess. Changes I do not have the strength to make. Srila Prabhupada, I want to know, what is it you say to her from your picture? When she talks to you. I have so many pictures. You do not speak to me through them. Although I worship deities daily, I continue to see them made of marble and wood. How is it this old lady has the conviction that God has come to her country? Why have you not given such vision to me? Where did she get the conviction that a pilgrimage to the city capital would yield the final goal of her life? One last thing, Srila Prabhupada. How is it that when Dora's granny chants in front of a picture, she cries? How do you do it? I want to cry like that too. When will you give me that mercy? Srila Prabhupada, this is one letter from one girl who came in contact with you. How many millions of such souls are there who have yet to write, who are directly experiencing your mercy daily, who read your books with implicit faith, whom you talk to in dreams and pictures, whose lives you change abruptly and reward with tears when they chant the holy names? How many people cross the boundaries of rules and regulations by the strong boat of your mercy and practice and taste Krishna consciousness in a realm beyond logic and argument? I want to read that again. How many people cross the boundaries of rules and regulations by the strong boat of your mercy and practice and taste Krishna consciousness in a realm beyond logic and argument? I think these people are meeting you every day. How will I acquire their good fortune? When will you one day bestow upon me some of the special mercy that you give to them? If I am not to acquire it directly, even after begging for it, then I will search out such souls who have reached your mission. I will offer them prasadam, give them your books, and show them how to practice. I will chant with them. Thus I can hope to gain a new perspective of your greatness, even though I may never fully understand it. Your insignificant service, Srila Swami Maharaj. You touched on the real essence of the Vyasa Puja, just begging for the mercy of Guru Maharaj. This is really nothing significant to finish with, but it's just this year, in wake of a disaster that claimed a friend, I brought the walls crumbling down. I took up my staff and looked to the road, hoping to find you again. To gain your favor, I gave up all that I owned and tried to renounce my pride. And ever more cautious of women and fame, I traveled far and wide, moving once in the north and twice in the south, and east and west in turn. I learned firsthand of God's creation and your kind mercy as well. Soon austerity came, claiming all of my wealth, but remained a welcome friend. And strength I gained, and detachment too, while traveling through foreign lands. With no place to live or a home of my own, I learned to take shelter in you. And the constant vision of birth and death gave me learned and true to my vows. In forests and cities, villages and towns, Repeating your words, I roamed, witnessing your mercy, as kind as you are in delivering the fallen and poor. Disease came in summer, and your death in the fall, in a jungle far to the south. But your saving grace and your finger's mace get me safe, protected through all. Oh, how happy I am. To serve you like this, always preaching and traveling on. As a flowing river remains always clean, I pray to remain always pure. In happiness and distress, heat and cold, I want to keep fighting on, delivering your message as you ask me to, while I'm enthusiastic, youthful and strong. But Prabhupada, the road is long, and there are many dangers in between, where I pause now, and you rest safely on the other shore. So on this day, so full of grace, please hear my fervent prayer. Within my heart, beyond what's dark, there's a shining love for you. So guide me right, keep me in the fight, and away from Maya's glare. And when all is done, and the battle's won, take me home to be with you again. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Parampara ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamudra ki jai. Hare Krishna, thank you so much. That's all.
Gurudeva Indradyumna Swami ki jai.
We'll have Guru Puja now, so if everyone could please stand up. We are very lucky Bada Hari Prabhu is going to sing the kirtan, and Gauranga to the arti.